our body, what it doesn't use, it loses, right? So if we don't use it, we lose it. And one of the things that we tend to lose over time is muscle mass. And at the age of 25 for women and 29 for men, we start to lose 1% of our lean body mass, which is our muscle tissue, if we don't use it. When we don't strength train, we tend to lose 1% of our lean body mass every year. And the thing is, the lean body mass, that's our muscle tissue, but that's also our calorie burning factory. Welcome back, friends. I'm your host, Shaban. And with each episode, I am honored to be your coach and guide in the journey to make peace with food, fall in love with fitness, and ultimately yourself. My intention in each episode is to help you release the old story of who you are and step into the one you're always meant to be. We'll challenge conventional diet and fitness culture and understand the importance of tuning out all the shoulds they tell us to do and tuning into our own inner wisdom instead. What you focus on, you create more of. Through these conversations, you'll shift your focus from what you're supposed to be doing to who you want to be, so that health and fitness and ease around food is not just what you do, but who you are. And if you find that this conversation resonates with you today, then I want to invite you to join our free Make Peace with Food Facebook community at myfoodfreedomlifestyle.com, where you can connect with me and my team directly and access all the free trainings and resources we have for you so you can regulate your nervous system and make peace with food. And then also remember to share this episode with someone who you think needs to hear this today. The links are in the show notes. All right, now let's get into it. What we actually tend to do to formulate our belief systems is look for proof around us in our environment. And just coming back to that word limiting belief, right? A limiting belief is a belief that we have that limits us from actually moving forward, growing, doing things in our lives. And we stay in whatever belief system we have, depending on what the feedback is in our environment. So the first thing I would say for anybody who is over 40 or over 50 or over 60 hearing this today and thinking that, okay, there's like some sort of expiration date on the quality of my life and on my body and on, my health or my weight at some certain point, and it's completely normal that a woman after kids, this happens, or a woman when she's 50, this happens. I first want to challenge where you're getting this information from. And the first thing is just to ask, like, where are you getting this information from? Right? Because we never do that. We just hear it and then we believe it because Sally down the street said it, so it must be true, right? So the first thing is whatever belief you have about women and aging or women and having to gain weight after menopause or whatever that is, ask yourself where you got it from, right? So who did it come from? When did I learn it? And then finally, the last question is, have I seen it actually be falsified elsewhere? Have I seen like that contradiction to that belief elsewhere? And I'll just say that is actually who I choose to follow on Instagram. I don't follow, like, respectfully, I don't follow the 20-something-year-old girls who've never had kids who are talking about hormones and no, right? I'm 50s, 60s, 70s who are doing the things that I want to do at that age. Those are the people that I tend to follow because that's my proof. And so first and foremost is surround yourself by where it is that you want to go. And then I have a hard rule in life. I don't take advice from people who are not trying to do what I'm trying to do and who haven't already done what I'm trying to do, right? Because everybody has an opinion. So that I just want to put on the side. Now, the second thing we'll come to is just understanding again how the body works. And two things we have to understand is, first of all, that our body, what it doesn't use, it loses, right? So if we don't use it, we lose it. And one of the things that we tend to lose over time is muscle mass. And at the age of 25 for women and 29 for men, we start to lose 1% of our lean body mass, which is our muscle tissue, if we don't use it. And that's hormonally, because at 25, that's when our growth hormone peaks and then it starts to go down. You can, though, increase growth hormone by doing resistance training. And so what we tend to see is at the age of 25, that's maybe when a lot of women are going into childbearing age and all of that. When we don't strength train, we tend to lose 1% of our lean body mass every year. And the thing is, the lean body mass, that's our muscle tissue, but that's also our calorie burning factory. So why that's important, and I'm not going to get into calories and talk about counting calories and breaking down calories because I wouldn't even be able to give you numbers. That's not my jam at all. But what I do want you to understand is that that's where our metabolism actually is functioning. It's where we are utilizing the most amount of energy. And so if I have less of that, then I burn less energy at rest. And so this is naturally happening every single year if I don't resistance train. Now, the other thing that happens is every time I crash diet and I restrict like crazy, I also tend to lose mostly muscle mass. Why? Because I didn't give my body enough nutrients, and the body is absolutely magnificent and so intelligent that it's going to find that nutrient somewhere else. And where does it go? It goes to muscle tissue. So yay, the scale went down. I'm so happy. I lost 10 pounds in like a day and a half. Yay. And then all of a sudden I start eating normally and then I put on even more weight. Why? Because I've lost a lot of that muscle mass. And so that's the issue. And now fast forward 15, 20 years. Now I'm 50. Now I'm going through menopause. And now the effects have compounded. And I'm going to just blame it on menopause. But it's not. It's actually what I've done in my life. It's my lifestyle behavior. So that's really what's happening. And the good news is it's reversible. If you know this, it's reversible. And the way out is not by counting your calories and restricting your food. It's really by adding resistance training. And also, walking is really great. Why is walking really great? Because it focuses mostly on body fat as fuel. And it doesn't stimulate that urge to eat. Like think about, again, fight or flight. What are you doing? Right? You're trying to run as fast as you can, right? So it gives you that need also for sugar cravings. So resistance training is important for women, period, because it reduces the chances of osteopenia, osteoporosis. It helps you with posture. And then if you see what the most common form of injury or thing that actually older people endure, it's a fall and a fracture of the hip or a fracture of the pelvis, right? So it's very beneficial for us. It's a win-win-win. And actually muscle is the tissue of longevity. It really is the fountain of youth, right? So forget all the creams and the injection, like, if you're going to do that one thing, I would really highly recommend to do some resistance training. Now, the second thing I want to mention is just understanding hormones. And whenever we talk about hormones, especially as women, our minds are going to go right to estrogen, right? Oh, well, I went to menopause, my hormones have changed, and that's why I've put on weight, right? But the two most important hormones that we actually have to manage for weight gain or to release body fat, it's cortisol. That's like the number one. And the second one is insulin. And those both are the storage hormones. And when those two hormones are out of balance, meaning there's way too much cortisol or there's way too much insulin, then it affects all the other ones, including estrogen. And so forget about estrogen, forget about managing that. Just think about managing these two hormones. I can manage cortisol by reducing my stress, by shifting my nervous system, by doing yoga, by meditating, by walking, by connecting with nature, by reading a book, by spending time with people who love me and support me, not energy vampires who make me feel uncomfortable every time I spend time with them, right? And then insulin. Insulin is released in response to a glycemic index load that's very high. So lots of sugar or eating frequently. Right? So the more that I do that, I increase insulin. And now I start to affect all of the other hormones. And so it's reversible when you really focus on those two things. You focus on really putting on lean body mass, and then you focus on adjusting and really managing these two hormones. And I see it every single day in women who are perimenopause, menopause, people in their 60s, people in their 70s. It is completely possible as long as there's just consistency. And the consistency really is day in, day out, just showing up for you and just doing whatever it is that you can do that day over and over and over again. Thanks for listening to this episode. Whether you're already on your wellness journey or just getting started, we're in this together. If this has resonated with you today, I want to invite you to subscribe to the show so you never miss a beat. And if you know someone who could benefit from this conversation, then please share this episode with them. Let's work together to help as many people as possible make peace with food and fall in love with fitness. And also, don't forget to visit myfoodfreedomlifestyle.com to join the free Facebook group for more resources. Remember, you are an inspiration. I can't wait to hear your story. See you next time.